Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you had a great week. Today we're in the world of Gibbi Point and we are building on a 64 by 64 lot to build a lakeside retreat called Sterling Point, which I am watching the new series on Amazon Prime actually called Sterling Point, which is a really good series so far. It's shot in a beautiful portion of Canada. Which actually makes me want to take a trip there. It's so nice. But I wanted to do my own kind of little lakeside retreat inspired by the show. But of course, it's not like a recreation or anything of the show's like cottagey cabin kind of thing that they have going on there. But I wanted to do something kind of similar. So it took me a while to figure out what world I wanted to build this in. But I thought Gibbi Point in the end would be a great spot to do it, especially this large 64 by 64 lot. I do want to quickly mention that even though there is no Sims for sale going on at the moment, if you do still want to use my creator code, you'll still get 5% off at checkout when you use it towards packs or kits or expansions through the EA app or thesims.com. So thank you so much in advance if you do decide to use my code. But yeah, so I've did something interesting here. I did not build the house on a foundation. I kind of like floated it off the ground. So it's kind of interesting, especially when it comes to the gallery image, because I was like, what is that? It's basically like a picture of nothing, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I'm like, oh, it's the blank floor that's kind of like underneath. It's considering it a floor to the house. So I was like, oh, my bad. But that's okay. I still got the look I wanted. I did want to put columns out over like this floaty bit that was going to be floating over the little like elevated cliff portion here that kind of overlooks the lake. But we end up bringing the foundation out under that piece instead, or not foundation, the terrain under that instead, because columns just wouldn't let me put them under there. So whatever. I mean, it was the look I wanted, but I didn't get it in the end. We are now working on a wraparound kind of screened in front porch, which is something that is in the cottage on the show, which I was like, oh, I really like that. So I kind of was heavily inspired by the TV series, which I've been watching, and I think I have 2 more episodes to go of the series. So I've been kind of taking my slow time through it rather than like speeding through watching all episodes and being like, oh, that's sad, it's over. You know what I mean? I'm kind of taking my time, but I do have 2 episodes left, so I don't really know what's going to happen. And I'm not going to spoil it either for those of you who haven't watched, but really good series so far. So just figuring out the exterior kind of finishes, and we do this, I believe it's Adventure Awaits wooden siding, but at the end we kind of change a bunch of stuff around, and including the stone, and I end up going with a horse ranch, almost like log cabin siding instead, and we changed the stone out for a horse ranch stone, kind of like a darker one to match the fireplace. Though I did keep all of the Adventure Awaits windows, we did use the Greenhouse Haven kit to create the screened-in porch, because it has like that screened kind of swatch on that, and I like that some of them had like little open windows, so I thought that was perfect for that little front area here. That while the windows you just saw me place a door in, that will become the kitchen, and then upstairs we kind of divvied up the floor plan. Well, we will a bit later. I was just figuring out where the stairs are going to go, and I'm like, wait, they can't go there because that would block access to the other room. I do end up getting rid of this window at the side here because I felt like we didn't need it, but doing some architectural details here now, and trying to figure out how I want to do the stairs upstairs. I was going to leave like a blank little space here, but then every time I did that, the roof trim would stick through the walls. So I'm like, okay, we are not going to do that because I really don't want to have to deal with that, and choose a different roof trim. So we divvied up the upstairs. There are 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bathrooms, and then there's a bathroom downstairs as well. So your Sims don't have to trek all the way upstairs. We do put a fireplace in the 1 bedroom, but actually I swapped that out later for the like cast iron stove instead, which I thought was nicer because it was smaller, but still works well for the bedroom. We do a staircase off of the back deck, which is the primary bedroom, so it kind of leads up to that. And then there are 2 sliding doors out the living space that get out the back, but also there's a side door to the kitchen there. So we do change the interior here as well. I believe we make that stone in the end, at least on the house portion. But yeah, if you do want to grab this house, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here is that listing, and it is called Sterling Point out there. My EID is TheSimified. I used 9 packs and kits total, so really not that pack heavy. It's only 51,088 simoleons altogether, so it's also not very expensive either. And again, I built it on the 64 by 64 lot located in the Jellyfish Junction kind of neighborhood of Gibbi Point. I believe there's like a camp or something already here, but I bulldozed that obviously to create this. So yeah, just doing some terrain manipulation now to get up to the front door space. So we do put stairs there. This like dock and ladder is not functional. I tried to make it functional, but it kept saying it could only be placed on deep ocean water. And I'm like, okay, so I guess my pond isn't deep enough and it's probably not classed as ocean. So whatever, I just use move objects to kind of put it there. It's strictly decorative. Just like the canoes in the water, they're not functional either. They're just purely decoration. Though I do like that the one in the water, when we get to the end, which I don't believe you'll see, but you'll see it in screenshots and stuff. It actually like bobs up and down and creates like movement on the water. And I also tucked something in the corner of the lot when I was doing landscaping. It's like this old like rundown shack thing and like bits of an airplane, which I think came with the Adventure Awaits debug. But I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. It's like I don't know, because they in the show she does fly in on like planes because the island that they are in is very remote. So I thought that was kind of cool to do that. Although this plane crashed, they don't have that kind of issue in this series. So you know, it's just a fun little design element, I guess. Doing some lighting now on the interior, kind of brightening it up a bit. And we carry the stone up the staircase wall there, though that stone changes anyway, as does the fireplace in the living room. This dining room table also changes. I was originally using the Adventure Awaits dining table and chairs, but then I changed it to the horse ranch because it's a circular table, which we really do not have enough like big circular dining tables like this. We have smaller ones, and then we have a lot of like horizontal ones that are like 2 or 3 tiles long, but we don't really have a nice kind of horse ranch circular one. I was going to put the the refrigerator on the other side of the kitchen, but then I thought that is not a good triangle. So we put that over by the door instead. So you do have your triangle of your fridge, sink, and stove. So it's all right there. There is no dishwasher. And we do change out these cabinets later on for horse ranch, and I make my own little kind of like hutch out of 2 pieces of cabinets and like an upper cabinet piece. Again, I think horse ranch lend itself quite nicely to this pack, as well as adventure. Oh wait, it's not a pack build. What am I talking about? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. And then this area here, I was contemplating putting a dining table in here because I thought it'd be nice, just like a 2-seater or something, but I ended up putting plants in here instead. So that kind of works out nicely. We do tuck a fire alarm above the door in there, and then I was looking for some other kind of table element. Again, I was trying it, but I was like, oh no, I don't like it. I don't like how this looks. I just don't like it. And then I was going to use this ladder thing from the garden to table kit, but we do end up using that in the dining room instead as a decorative feature. But I do like having some of the garden to table items like the herbs and things. And there is a like wheelie kind of cart that we do keep and put over by the windows. The rug in the living room does change, as well as the furniture too, because I just kept swapping through some different things as the build progressed, and I ended up deciding on just including horse ranch because this furniture from Adventure Awaits just looked a bit too modern. Like at least the sofa did. The armchairs not so much, but the sofa did. So we do swap that out for the leather chairs and sofa from horse ranch. But overall, we keep pretty much a lot of the same things. Just kind of divvy it up a bit and make it feel a bit more rusticy or cabiny, I guess, because that is in the end what I was going for, was something that's kind of like a vacation kind of home kind of thing. Though you could live here permanently, it is set as a residential lot. It's not a vacation rental or anything, though you could make it that if you wanted to. Totally up to you and how you want to play. We do get rid of this shelf that I put by the front door with the little hooks on it there because it was just kind of, wow, that's a lot. But there is this other smaller table that I put there instead. We are now figuring out some of the bedroom spaces and just trying to figure out how I wanted to lay that out. And we end up having 2 bedrooms that have 2 twin beds each. And then we have the primary bedroom, which is a double bed. So you have 5 beds to sleep 5 Sims. And of course, there's the 3 bathrooms. Just doing some curtains over the sliding doors in the primary bedroom. This kind of, what do you want to call it? I don't really know what you'd call that. But the thing by the stairs, that changes to something else. I kind of create my own little thing using 2 pieces of horse ranch furniture. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see that in the end here. But there are showers in the bathrooms. There's a shower on the 2nd floor. The one bathroom, the hallway, has the shower kind of tucked away in a little like closet thing. And then I do the same thing in the downstairs bath. But then the front bath upstairs actually has a bathtub. So if you did need that, you're bringing toddlers or something here, there is a bathtub bathroom. So it has pretty much everything your Sims would need here. Just deciding on colors, because this is kind of where things shifted a bit. And I found this really nice base game wallpaper, which had like a darker wood kind of trim along the bottom. And we do end up changing the flooring too, because this is eco lifestyle, which is always my favorite, but I thought the wood tone was a bit too light, and we kind of darken things as we kind of go along. So yeah, just doing the downstairs bath now, which has the toilet, sink, and the shower kind of tucked in there. Same thing with the other bath. And then this is the tub going in, and then another sink and a toilet in there. And this is the hallway bath kind of going together. We used a horse ranch shower in there just to kind of mix up some of the items and stuff that I use throughout the house, just to make it feel a bit more kind of rustic, but also kind of just quirky, I guess, if that's what we want to go for. Just doing some clutter around on the vanity tops. And then there is a small little like closet in here that we start working on. In the one bedroom, kind of just like a decorative thing more so, but we use these horse ranch kind of clothing hanger things, and I put 2 of them in here, kind of all placing them together so they clip, but clip in a nice way, if that makes sense. And it just looks nice because you can hang your clothes in there. And again, it's strictly decorative. I don't believe it's functional, because Sims wouldn't be able to get through that doorway. They would need like a tile or 2 or something to get in there. So. But there is a dresser in the one bedroom, so if you really did need to swap outfits or something, there is the option there. And there's also a kind of dresser armoire thing in the primary bedroom too. So there are options around if you did want to change your outfit. This is where we swap out the dining table, because I just like, wow, this is so much nicer. I like having a round table like this. It's very nice. And then I'm like, okay, let's see. Do we want to change doors and windows? No, we're not going to do that because that's a huge undertaking. But I am swapping out the kitchen cabinets from the base game ones, and these fit so much better. They're definitely more rustic and cabiny. At least it brought that kind of vibe to me. And then that's when I create my own little custom hutch over here, and we just do a little bit of clutter there. I forgot what else we put up. Oh, some plates when I actually find them. I was like, I know Horse Ranch includes plates, but I couldn't find them, but I do end up finding them in the end. And this is where I tried to swap out the all of the living room furniture, because I was like, yeah, this stuff isn't going anymore. It's not matching. It's not giving me what I wanted. So we swap it out, and then I change the wallpaper behind here just to this wood, but then we change it again to a horizontal instead, which I think looked better than the vertical. Then I was like, oh, do I want an accent wall in the dining room? And no, we don't do that. This is where I'm creating the custom kind of like I guess it's like a little hutch thing over here, but then also I kind of all place this little like clothing hanger thing, and I put some like jackets on there. So I thought that's kind of nice to have that little like mudroomy kind of thing over here, kind of like a catch-all space. So that's kind of what we're doing there. Just figuring out some other items. And I was like, oh, let's put a rocking chair up by the front here. We're doing a side table now on the dining room. Just some random clutter there. And then this is when I changed the fireplace out for the horse ranch one, which I think looks nicer. And then this is where the whole thing shifts and we change all of the stone and all of the trim and everything like that all throughout the house. It just becomes a full-on log cabin essentially. And we even changed the roofing. I did like the Adventure Awaits roofing, but I really love this darker shingle instead. Just really nice. And that came with Horse Ranch. But I did still keep the Adventure Awaits roof trim and the staircase back here as well. And of course there is the overhanging kind of like balcony deck space up there. Which I do add some columns underneath a bit later. And I was thinking about changing the color of the windows on the front, but I decided against that because I would have to change all of the windows on the house. And I actually really liked the different wood tones. I don't know, there's something about it that just made it feel more kind of unique and everything. So we do change out these stone staircases quickly. And then I'm popping in a chimney. And then I was like, oh, the half walls don't go high enough to hide this. I needed a taller wall height. So I built another level and then used a shorter half wall to kind of get past that and get around that. So you just see the top of the little chimney part sticking out and just filling in the inaccessible spaces that are inaccessible to your Sims. And I was trying to put a lamp on this table, but then I'm like, no, let's put one above instead. So we use these Horse Ranch lanterns, which are very low light, but I think they're quite nice. Just a nice little accent. And then we change out the primary bedroom wallpaper and kind of finish that off because I realized I was like, I didn't really finish furnishing the bedrooms. I kind of squirreled and went somewhere else. So we're now finishing the bedrooms up and trying to figure out how and kind of what goes in them. And we do change the bedding a bit. I believe we do anyway, yeah, because I changed the wood tones in here. I also did add some windows behind the lamps here in the primary bedroom and a window behind the chair because there was the ability to do that because the roof pieces were not in the way. So I thought that was nice to bring in some even more light, even though you have basically a wall of windows in the primary bedroom. I just thought it was nice to have some more windows in there. Just finishing up this bedroom, we put a little penguin TV. Even though Sims really can't watch it because of how it's placed, I just thought it was kind of interesting just to kind of have it in there as like a decorative item. Though I guess they probably could watch it. They would probably just have to stand, I guess. And then we're doing some curtains, which I used Eco Lifestyle curtains because I like that you can resize them, but they still kind of worked quite well. And the colors also worked quite well for what I was going for. And then I was like, do I put curtains in the living room? No, we don't. And then I do some terrain painting and then finish the rest of the landscaping off camera. But we do have a nice fire pit out back. I end up adding a telescope, some additional seating. What else do we add? I add some chairs out on the like dock bit and then just kind of finish off the rest of it with rocks and everything. It took quite a while to get the landscaping, but here is the finished Sterling Point. Again, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery. My EID is just TheSimified. So it's out there for you to play in and grab and just have a lot of fun, I hope. I really enjoyed creating this one and I'm really enjoying the series. I'm going to go finish the 2 episodes now. I've been thinking about it all day, especially while I was building this house. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to finish the series. But I really wanted to do something like this in the game, kind of similar to the show, kind of a nod to the show, I guess. So it's kind of fun to do, I have to say. And it was nice not to use like a lot of the same objects and colors that I have been using in a couple of my past builds. I've noticed that, you know, things do become repetitive because I do have my favorite items, but there's just so much content in the game that I don't really use a lot of. So I really wanted to make sure that I did. Ignore the sim there. She's just making some food because she was hungry. This is one of the bathrooms, but I didn't show any of the others in the screenshots. And then this is the one of the bedrooms here, and then the other bedroom. as well. So plenty of beds and plenty of spaces for Sims to sleep, especially if you wanted to make it like a vacation rental, you totally could, but it also would make a beautiful home as well. And then we move out to the primary bedroom, kind of like upper balcony deck space. And then we just zoom around to the fire pit. And that is all I had for this speed build. I do hope you enjoyed. Make sure you give a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And I do thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon with another build.